twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight over the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there.
Well, good evening, everyone. Happy Saturday night. And welcome to another session, another fun evening with Let's Talk About It with Papa D and Angela. And I will bring Angie up here just a second. But thank you all for coming by. And we've got a good night for you tonight. A lot going on in the world today. A lot going on in the world every day. Some good and some not so bad. We will get into that momentarily. But I just want to take a second, as usual, to thank everyone. Thank the subscribers. Thank you all for coming out. We've had a banner week with respect to the channel. I think we've picked up, we're nearly to about 2,000 subscribers. A whole lot of activity this week. You guys have been watching the videos and hitting all the buttons, all the bells and things, and making things happen for us, and we do appreciate every bit of it. It's been an amazing week since episode 19 left, and we can recap that a little bit too. But just want to thank you all before we get too deep into things. And with that being said, let's welcome in my co-host, as usual, and hopefully the magic buttons work 2 weeks in a row. Angela.
How's it going, you guys?
There we go. How you doing there, kiddo?
I'm doing pretty good. You doing good? I'm tired tonight. I'm not gonna lie.
It's been a
I'm
long
clinging
day.
to the coffee. Yeah, I've been cleaning closets and organizing pantries, but I did find a $5 Sonic gift card, so it is a great day.
Oh, that's a
I'm gonna go
good
get
day
a
right
milkshake.
there. Well, I've been rebuilding carburetors and working on 2 motors, and I'm tired, but not too tired to be here with everybody.
Right. Never too tired for this. No way. I
Not
got
at
my
all.
coffee ready to go.
Although I did think until about midday that it was Friday, not Saturday. Luckily, I was
Oh
corrected in
boy.
plenty of time. But yeah, weeks get away from me. But yeah, been a crazy week, and we are back. And as I said, Ange, I know you keep track as the administrator, but the numbers were phenomenal this week. We have really bumped up the viewership, the subscriber count, all the things that we need to see to help us out, help us get this thing going. Uh, Boy, it happened this week.
Yeah. I am blown away by the amount of people who not only watched it, you guys were we this is the highest watched count, like view count for a video we've ever had on this channel. It takes all the videos combined and it doesn't even reach that. Like you guys
Right.
have really came out and shown your support for what we do, and I could not be happier. I could not appreciate it more. And I'm
Absolutely.
so glad that you guys are joining the fam,
And that's
and
what it
we're gonna
is.
work. Yeah, we're gonna work really hard to give you guys some good stuff every week and keep you coming back every week for forever and ever. So thank you so
And
much
have a
for
little bit of
subscribing.
fun. Yeah, we want to be serious, and we report and we talk about these events, the current events, what's going on in this crazy world. But also, we got to have a little fun with it, and we got
Right.
to have a little fun with our viewers. And we appreciate you guys responding so positively, and hope you keep coming back. We'll keep doing our best as long as y'all want us to do it. So thanks again from the bottom of our my old
Yeah,
heart
thank you.
and your younger heart.
Yeah, my younger-ish art.
Absolutely. Well, for those of you that maybe are just stopping in for the first time, I'm Papa
Right.
D.
Hey, hi.
This is Angela. Angela is my daughter, and I run the show out of the great state of Florida. And Angie is brought in every week from the volunteer state. So we
Yep,
try to get together and chat through things and talk about things. Last week was a tough week
it was.
uh,
It was. I've
with
been thinking
Charlie and
about that all week,
every
and
day.
I've had just wanted to share this with you, Dad, because well, with everybody, all of you guys too. Um, you know, I grew up Catholic, and I didn't we didn't do a worship service kind of a thing. It was very, by the book type of
Mm-hmm.
stuff. And really, I've never watched a worship service until the memorial. And I have had two of those songs stuck in my head all week. And
Mm-hmm.
I have been singing them. And I went on Spotify, found both songs, and started a playlist of worship songs. And I've never done that before in my entire life. So
Fantastic.
I just want to say, just let it in, you guys. Just let it in. And it's amazing. It
Okay.
makes me feel better. And yeah, so that was my shout out to Charlie this week. Was I started a worship service playlist on my Spotify. So
There
thank
you
you,
go.
Charlie, for that.
And little things turn into big things, turn into bigger
Right.
things. And that's what we're seeing across the world right now. From Spotify playlists,
Mm-hmm.
the talk, the chatter, everybody is that I know in my circle is talking about it. Uh, and they should, because this is the beginning of a movement. And
It is.
we can talk about the effect of MAGA. Matter of fact, a little something here. MAGA is now the largest and most powerful political party in America. So, the impact that Charlie had on the MAGA movement and the movement that he started uh, is only beginning. And the world is showing it in full force. And we hope they continue to. And I will say
Yeah.
right up front, Ange, that we will dedicate this show every week to the memory of that man and what he did and what his organization will continue to do. Um, it allowed us to kick things off on a somber note, but on a very positive
Right.
and energized note. And we will continue to push, and we will continue to get the folks out there the information that we think that might help them, irrespective of what side of the fence they're on, make good decisions and stop some
Right.
of the craziness that are being made by the people making the bad decisions right now.
Oh yeah.
Um,
We got tons of
so
information tonight for you guys. So
yeah,
stick around.
it's been a crazy week. So yeah, hold on, grab your coffee or your beverage or your cup of tea or your
Mm-hmm.
American flag beverage of choice.
There you go. I chose Kennedy Space Center for this evening's uh,
Ooh,
video tonight. So
I know that place fairly
gonna
well.
yeah, it's a great place. You guys should go visit someday if you're able.
Check it
It's
out. If
magical.
you're down here in Orlando, in Florida in general, there's a lot of stuff to do in Orlando, but there's other stuff to do around the state too.
Oh
So
yeah.
spread the
It's
wealth.
not all Disney and theme parky stuff, you can actually
Yeah,
learn some stuff. So that's cool too. But
yeah, we got a bunch
anyway,
of that stuff.
right.
But
A little bit of
anyway,
everything. Yeah.
but Ange, I want to pass it over. Let you. I pushed the wrong magic button. Hang on a second, I lost you. There we are. But let you kick it off. Angie is the director of informational scriptology. What do you think of that
Oh
title?
boy. That is a
Informational
whopper. Do I get paid
scriptology.
extra for that or
Yeah, sure.
just
Go get yourself an extra cup of coffee. We
oh
don't have a budget.
yay,
You know why?
caffeine.
Like I said, we don't have a budget. No, we really
We
don't
don't.
have a budget. We talk till we run out of words. But let's say if anybody's out there wants to, help us out there, feel free. Let us know. But we
Right.
are a non-monetized dad and daughter think tank, and we think and we tank. So
Right.
anyway,
We bring it all to you
enough
guys.
of
Here we
that
go.
stuff. I'm going to pass it over to you, Angie, and kick off the beginning of the show here, and we'll dig in with the what's going on, good, bad, or ugly this week.
I don't even know where to start. There's so much, you guys, that has been going on. I'm just gonna go down the list because it's a list. We have a list this week. Let's kick it off with I really want to touch on the ICE detention center situation in Dallas that
That's
happened.
top of the list over here.
Okay. So, I didn't hear about it right away. I usually, I'm pretty on top of all the things. I love watching it, and I don't know, it's just great. But this wasn't great. So Wednesday, at a ICE detention center in Dallas, which this is not the first incident, but we'll get to that in a minute. The shooter, there was a shooting, and the shooter was a man. His name was Joshua John, is how I've heard them pronouncing it. So I'm going to go with that. He was a 29-year-old who plotted this, from my understanding, for quite a little bit of time. We don't know exactly. We don't have a ton of details yet. They're still working with the FBI
Yeah, they're
to
still very
figure
early in
out.
the investigation on this one.
Right.
But it seems like he did not just wake up in the morning and say, heading over to the ICE center with a gun and going to shoot things up.
Right. He thought this through for quite a while. Similar to the assassination of Charlie, there were some messages written on the shell casings. The anti-ICE rhetoric, which we can't really repeat a lot of that because it's inappropriate. But check out on X, there are plenty of pictures to reference.
That's true.
But basically, he climbed up on top of an adjacent building's roof nearby. So it was right next door to the ICE detention center. And he parked, climbed up there with his weapon, and just started firing in every direction that he could, hoping, we're assuming, to injure or kill several people. Now, from what I know, and this was Wednesday. So I'm not sure if it's been updated at this point. I have not looked into it. But 3 detainees were shot, not ICE agents, detainees. So these are the people who are not supposed to be here in our country for various reasons. 2 were killed in the shooting. And as of Wednesday afternoon, 1 was in critical condition. I do not know if that individual had passed or if that individual is stable at this point.
The last
Not
I
too sure
heard,
about
we
that
still
one.
had 1 in critical condition or still hospitalized. 2
Okay.
died. No ICE agents were injured. But apparently, they still don't even know what his thought was. Thought process was to shoot ICE agents, so he just shot the place up, and
Right.
that's the result of it.
Now, I did see later on in the afternoon that same day where it had come out that he, once everything happens and people get a little bit of time to start deep diving, is when we start getting like the little niche details about the individual. And kind of, you can start to kind of put those puzzle pieces together a little bit. What they did find out was that he had been making all of these threatening posts on Facebook about ICE, and he basically came out and linked himself to Antifa. So, and that was public on social media. So that's not speculatory by authorities. That is like factual online. They did find that out as the day progressed. But as far as really about him, the only really thing we know other than the Facebook post was that his mother apparently has the same attitude towards the government and ICE and anything that is not very far to the left leaning type of situation. So
Right.
the
The apple
theory
didn't
with
fall too far from the tree on that one.
right. So the
And
theory
just
right
a side
now.
note, guys, just have in 1 second. Just understand that Antifa was just designated as a domestic terrorist organization, folks.
Mhm.
So these people that align
was.
themselves thinking that's some kind of a club to go, do bad things or go and riot or do whatever the case may, that maybe they're part of a self-proclaimed domestic terrorist organization now, and apparently with Mom having the same ideas, one will have to believe that would be
Right.
the same thought
Exactly.
process.
That's the theory right now, is that he essentially was indoctrinated a large part by his own mother,
By Mama Bear.
and it led him to, with all the escalating tensions that have been coming really over the last year, where it's just escalated to the point of assassination attempts, obviously assassinations with Charlie, God rest his soul. But all of those things escalating have led to this. Now, with that being said, I did see a clip on, I think it was X, where our good old friend Jimmy got back on TV, and Gavin Newsom was his first guest for that night, coming back on air. And Gavin had some very choice words. This was the night before the shooting happened at the ICE detention facility. So he had said all these things about, we need to fight against this tyranny, and, the rate things are going, we're not going to have an election in 2028, and just, stirring up the fear, stirring up the hate and the anger and all these things. And then wouldn't you know it, the next day, we have this incident happen. So the whole reason of why we keep saying, and why you see it so much online and on the news, of talking about, this whole idea of political violence and stirring the pot needs to absolutely stop. It is just ridiculous. People are dying. Innocent people are dying. So we need to stop. And then you have a governor come out and they're saying all this stuff. So it's really disheartening, but not surprising.
Right. And they kicked Jimmy off the air, and then they brought him back with from where I'm
not
standing,
everybody
no
airing the
repercussions
show,
at all.
though.
Oh yeah, the network's affiliates aren't even putting the show on the air. But then the ones that continue to say we all need to calm down are the ones that are stirring the pot, and are in my opinion, the facilitators of all of this anger and all of this violence that's taking place right now. I'm sorry, but if you can't win an election, it doesn't give you the right to raise an informal army and take out the opposition. I mean, they're talking about civil war. They're talking about all these things. It's all coming out of the other side's camp, folks. And Gavin Newsom is, the top of the pile.
He's ringleader, right?
Yeah, I mean, you're looking at the guy that is more than likely going to be lined up in the number 1 or number 2 slot in 28.
It is
it's
looking that way.
It's just insane.
It is absolutely insane. Like this, the fact that I think the really scary part for me is it's more of a psychological scenario where, mental illness is a devastating thing for a lot of people. And I'm not going to go into the details of all that. But when you are at a point in psychosis where you start believing your own lies, and it's not true. What you're getting on there and preaching to people on national television is absolutely, completely false. But for the sake of the ratings, for the sake of,
it's
keeping your name.
It always has been.
Right. And these same people who are saying these things and doing these things on a consistent basis and even escalating them, really, Dad, is what we've seen the last couple of months. Their time is going to come where they get called out and they get shut down. It is only a matter of time before people stand up and say, you know what, like, we can't handle this anymore. You've literally destroyed your entire state. You're doing land grabs for people, innocent people that have lost their homes to fires. Like, it is out of control over there. So I think he's going to have an uphill battle trying to get voters around the country to buy into the
But the
crap that
party-
he's trying to sell.
But the party will align because it's you pick your team and look at the bench. I mean, the depth of their bench, there ain't a whole lot.
It is just atrocious.
Yeah, it goes from one level of crazy to the other level of crazy, from one end to the other. So,
what's your flavor?
to
It's
say-
gonna,
Yeah, exactly. Well, you look at Newsom, you got to say, well, he's not as radical as some of them, and
that's saying a
then
lot.
you have to
though.
laugh
That's-
because that's what you're left with.
Right. It's what level of radical are you most comfortable with? And that's your
Yeah.
candidate for the Democratic
But-
Party. That's literally where they're at right now.
That's where they're at, and you got him and other members of the party that we see every week, members of Congress, mayors of various states. I'm not going to mention names.
Governors. Don't forget
you know,
those governors.
You got governors. You got the city of Chicago mayor. You've got them, the same players every week, and they're still pointing fingers. They're still calling people Nazis. They're still calling. They're still going after the party, and I think inciting people to do these types of things. Our law enforcement, ICE, and everyone else does not deserve to have to deal with this kind of stuff. And I think it's just a matter of time
Absolutely
before
not.
they stop dealing with this stuff. I mean, the National Guard is going to come out and going to clean house here pretty soon, some of these cities.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, one of them, you got Memphis getting ready to get a detachment.
Yeah. They just Trump just sent everybody and their mother into Portland today
Mm-hmm.
because of the same ICE detention centers. I mean, they have Portland's a lot worse off than I think a lot of people really understand. It has been years of just anarchy in that city. Like, there's no lawfare. They've basically told the cops to stand down. People are dying. The homeless population's out of control. There's so many things. I mean, the list goes on and on. But it gets to a point where you have to kind of just take a step back and look at the factual evidence of all this, right? So you see where, and I'm not saying one side's, clearly better than the other, but the facts are speaking loud.
One side is certainly more violent than the other.
Right. When you look at Republican ran cities and, governors that are Republican in that specific state versus for instance, California, where it's a sanctuary state, it's a left-leaning governor who is radical, and all the crime and all the homelessness and the drugs and all the things, not to say that none of that happens anywhere else, but the concentration of it is so much more prevalent in those left blue states rather than red Republican states and cities. And I think a lot of people are saying enough's enough. This has to stop. We don't want this anymore. We can't live here. We can't raise our kids here. The place that we might have grown
billions of
up
dollars that have been spent in California by the
just for the homeless
party in power, and they've done nothing. They've accomplished nothing.
It's worse than before. It's worse.
It's worse than it before. It's like the old thing about, education. Well, we'll just throw more money at it, it'll get better. More money doesn't fix the problem. But California has thrown literally billions with a B dollars with every plan that they've come out with has been a absolute huge failure. And all they end up with is more homeless, more crime problems, and all that. Look at the outflow of people from California. I mean, you think that the political party out there would see, that people are bailing out, and that, to the point where California was talking about passing a law that when you move out of the state for a period of time, you would still have to pay taxes to the state of California.
Oh my goodness.
Because so much revenue is leaving the cities and the entire state, that they would be able to pull back revenue for a period of time after you leave the state, even though you don't live there anymore. That's like,
wow, that doesn't sound.
How do you get away with that?
No.
But that's the left side way of thinking.
Right.
We just keep.
We
taking,
own you, and you can never leave.
Absolutely. I mean, I hate to say it, but
terrible.
They almost see their citizenry not as the people who put them in positions to govern and do the right thing. they look at
Mhm.
their citizens as property, as cattle.
Yeah. Mhm.
You know, you're there for one thing, to produce revenue, so we can go out and come up with crazy ideas. You know, didn't call it the bullet train, but out in California, the high speed rail train they spent how many billions of dollars on, and nothing, never got it hardly off the ground, and then the president pulled the money, and I think they're trying to sue their way back into getting it back. But
Goodness.
they certainly can spend billions of dollars and go around a big circle and end up with nothing, and they do that a lot. And that's why the people are deserting those left-leaning states and those left-leaning
Mhm.
cities. And
I mean,
yeah,
we have a lot
moving
of
to great
people in
places like
Tennessee.
Florida.
Yeah, and Tennessee. I've met so many people
Absolutely.
that are from California, various parts of the state. So it's not just one or two cities that, they're leaving in droves. It's everywhere. And the horror stories from these people of what they had, it's literally like they're fleeing a war-torn country or something. It's insane. And they
Absolutely.
come here and they're so grateful. They go to the grocery stores and it's almost comical because they're like, "Oh my god, your milk is only $2 and whatever a gallon." Oh my god, and you're
Your
just like,
gas
"What?
isn't
What is wrong with
$8 a
you?"
gallon.
Right, it's like, "Oh my god, I can actually live." And it's just that is not the way you want the citizens of America to feel ever. Like we shouldn't have to ever live through something like that, but unfortunately,
No, and
it's
you don't want to live
happening.
out
And
that point out there where you have that. That's what you have to look forward for your children, your grandchildren.
right.
You know, and unless you break that circle and get out, it's just going to be generational. It's just going to keep on going. Uh, it's California, for example. We beat on them pretty hard. There's other states, but
Well, there
California
is other
has
states.
and always will be of that mindset.
Yeah.
You have very few Republican strongholds in the state, and hopefully one day we can do better out there. Unlike states like Pennsylvania, who are historically Democratic, but do not vote the party line all the time when things are not
Mhm.
going well or when it's getting, crazyville, when it's going to crazy town, as evidenced by the most recent election.
Yeah, I think Pennsylvania is more like moderate Democrat.
Absolutely.
You do have your, hard like from birth all the generations back type of Democrats up there too. I mean, that's everywhere.
Yeah,
You're going to
they
have that
can't help
everywhere.
it.
But I would say Pennsylvania, like you said, Dad, those citizens, kudos to them. They really look at the facts, they look at the candidates, and then they make a very informed decision, which I wish a lot more places would, live
Right.
up to. But I think after the last presidential election, I think a lot of people really started to get interested. They might have not ever voted before, and they're 50 years old and now they're out there voting and they're trying to learn, and it was a really good experience, I think, for a lot of people. So hopefully going forward, uh you know
Well,
everybody
it'll continue
takes
on.
the
I mean,
time.
they're voting for what is for the right reasons. They're voting for what's good for them, for what they want, the
Right.
change they want to see. Pittsburgh wants to have its industry back. Uh, you know, Erie has started
Yeah,
dropping off
bring Erie back to its heyday.
back to its heyday. But he, there's so much to unpack there. We don't want to go and rehash the election, which
Right.
turned out very
We don't
well.
have enough time in the night
But
for that.
exactly, we're not going to go backwards. We're going to
Right.
turn the page.
Oh god, here we go, you guys. We're turning the page.
We're turn.
We're turning it. We're
Um,
turning it. Oh, we have to talk about her latest atrocious interview just for a quick second.
Oh yeah. Well,
Um
and we have to and touch on the literary prowess of our ex-vice
oh
president.
wow. Okay. Um
Yeehaw!
okay, for everybody who's new, welcome. It's great to have you, and I'll be giving you my TED Talk for the day. Okay, so buckle up.
Buckle
Um,
up, folks.
Kamala Harris recently came out with a book, And she has been going on this book tour extravaganza, okay? And she's going to all the networks and she's going on podcasts. She's suddenly a podcast girly now. I think she's finally learned her lesson. Although I don't think she's figured out really how to articulate what she's thinking. The word salad is
Yeah.
it is something to be it's an anomaly. It is really something that should be studied by science, because I don't know how a grown person with all of her accolades, all the things that she's accomplished thus far in her life, I just don't know how she got there. Like I gotta know. I gotta know. I need that level of I'm just going to skate through life and keep chuckling all the way along. I wish to God my life was that like no stress. None. I'm just going to show up and do. So she does a couple of interviews this week, and she's specific. One part that stood out to me was she's on a podcast, okay? She's talking to this gentleman about during the election, when it was, it was her time to shine. They gave her they anointed her the chosen one, and
They
she's
gave her
out
the
there
crown,
and she's
yeah.
right. She's out there meeting the crowds and smoozing up the potential voters, and she's talking about how they would like pass a baby through the crowd. And she literally, I'm not even kidding, she sat there with a straight face and was like, they would pass the baby. And then
From the
they would
back
pass
of
the
the
baby
crowd
back.
over everyone's head to the front.
Oh my God. You
Fox
can't
is
even.
still looking for that video.
Right.
It does not
I
exist.
don't think it is a thing, you guys. And that's okay. I mean,
She's hallucinating.
she's thinking it's whatever. But I just sat there and I'm like, and the guy who's conducting this interview during the podcast is literally trying, you can tell, so hard to sound interested, but it is a struggle. He is struggling. He got ran over by the struggle bus. Okay. It was rough. But she is trying to stay relevant, but I just don't understand why. Because from what we've seen, from the loss of the election up until now, she really, other than a book or two, hasn't really had the gusto to stay in the politics circle. So I just really wonder, other than to sell books, what is it that she's trying to accomplish? She's
Well,
throwing Biden under the bus, which, I mean, it's a back and forth. That's a whole drama.
he threw himself under the bus before she backed over him. But
right, that
yeah,
you
I
could
think
say
it's
that.
trying to a big portion, Ange, I think, is trying to stay relevant. She's never
I just don't
been.
know why.
Here I am. A lot of us
She's
try to
not
figure
helping
that one out.
herself. She's really not.
You're
But
talking about someone who has never been elected to an office, and
it's true.
unless she attached to and then rode along with someone or was appointed to a position of authority, she's never convinced anyone that I'm aware of, or a voting bloc, I should say, to put her in a position of authority.
Right.
I mean,
At
think
least
back,
a large
guys.
quantity of people.
Yeah, enough to get her into an office. Yeah, I mean, think back to when she was running for president, and her and Biden were at each other's throat until they became best buds. But who was one of the first to exit the primaries? So
It was her.
she couldn't get enough support to run at that point. Then she came in on the coattails of the front runner and the future president, 46th president, as vice president, and now she's going to run for president with nothing good to say about what she's accomplished. I mean, they asked her, The View put the nail in the coffin on that one when they asked her what she would do differently, and she said
never
nothing.
gone back.
Yeah, go ahead.
She's not good at she should have never gone back on The View. But I think the reason she should have never gone back on The View is because she's not good at like pivoting answers. So
No.
You know,
Unless it's
either
a
you
canned
have it
answer,
or you
she's
don't.
out of luck.
Right. I think that's her biggest downfall is that, you
Yeah.
know, on the cuff is not her jam. And if you're going to be in politics at that high of a level, you need to have that skill
Yeah.
or you're going to
You
flop every time.
you
And
gotta be able to
that's what she
dance.
does. Right. Right.
But
You
I
got to be
mean,
able to talk to people.
she's never been able to do that. And this is not the Beat on Kamala show, but it's
No.
just
It's part of
what's
the
going
week's
on out
events.
there. It's part of the
Right.
week's events. That's correct. The other thing that blew my mind is when the explanation she gave when she was asked about snubbing Pete Buttigieg,
Buttigieg. I think that's how you
Buttigieg,
say
yeah.
it. Buttigieg.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's right. Anyway, she snubbed him for VP because he's gay, and it just wouldn't
Yeah.
have
And then
fit.
she's
And
like,
and now she's dancing around it sideways, and she can't
yes.
even dance her way out of that one.
Oh
Uh,
my God. It's like a hate crime. It's like she's walking into a hate crime in slow motion. It's
Yeah.
terrible. It is so bad.
So if you're going to write a book and you're
cares?
trying to stay relevant and stay in front of people as you contemplate or move towards a possible run in 28, which is I think the
Right. Or something
whole purpose.
like governor or whatever, which she already stated she does not want to run for governor.
Yeah, she talked about or it came out and she talked about it running in
Right.
California, but she put the kibosh to that. I mean, she wants to be president. You know, but so did Hillary.
Mhm.
And
I think
and
Hillary might still have a chance. I mean, she might be running for, you know, a special counsel position in prison, perhaps, or, you know, I
Yeah.
don't know. I mean, with all the things that are going on that we're going to, you know, I want to talk about with Comey that have happened this week, nothing's off the table with that.
no,
Um,
the lock her up might be be revisited.
I don't know if she'd get locked up, but you know, we're going to make sure you know that if you break the law, honey, eventually your
Yeah.
time is coming. And that goes for
Start
everybody.
fitting her.
Everybody is part of it.
Yeah, start fitting her for an ankle bracelet, ankle monitor.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's switch gears. Again, the Kamala thing, the book, the number one book that I won't be reading.
Right.
Reviews
Not
I've
worth it.
seen and heard, not stellar. You know, just her way, I believe, to tell the story in her own way and try to stay relevant while she makes her plans. So that's all I
True.
can get out of it.
My personal recommendation, just to, you know, put a nail in it, my personal recommendation is to skip buying Kamala's book and just go out and buy a Bible. It's cheaper and it could help you more in your life than the wasted hours that you're going to get reading that garbage. So that is
It's
my
not a book of
TED
lies.
Talk. Right.
All
Just go
right.
buy a Bible. Okay.
Exactly. So let's switch gears over to someone else that might be going to prison.
Oh man.
Oh my!
It is a really great, I don't want to celebrate too hard because, you know, this is just the initial, hey dude, we're pressing charges and we're coming and you're going
Grand
to see
jury's
your day
got
in
your
court.
number.
Right. The grand jury got together and Trump said, look, if you can find anything out of this, great news, let's go for it. If you can't, then okay, we don't go forward with it because that's unlawful and an outreach of power that I'm not willing ever to do. So congratulations to President Trump. Good on you for that. To everybody who says that he doesn't follow the law or doesn't understand how the law works, he does. He has a lot of advisors that help him along the way too, so he knows what's
Oh
up.
yeah. But I think Comey I think he saw this train coming down the tracks a long time ago. At the end of the day, you know, he's been before Congress. He's admitted some of the things with respect to the classified documents and whatnot that he did, that he shared or
didn't share what,
that.
you know.
But
liar.
You know, he the bottom line is that James Comey ex-director of the FBI, for those of you that
hmm
keeping your scorecards,
Who
uh,
Trump fired. Let's not ever
who Trump,
forget.
who Trump fired, and there's no love lost in that relationship. There's no, but
No.
either way,
Right.
has been indicted by a federal grand jury on at least 2 counts
Two
that I'm
counts
aware
right
of.
now.
And both those counts, if I'm not mistaken, were related to the handling of classified documents and also his ability to leak information.
Yeah. So the first charge was false testimony for him lying to Congress.
Lying to Congress. That's what I was trying to think of. Yeah.
Yeah, and the obstruction of justice is the other one, but there was a third count that was being considered
Right.
of the false testimony that he gave during the same hearing. But that one they decided was not going to be included. There wasn't enough, I guess, for them to say yes, you can include it in the indictment. So they did not include a third, but there was a third on the table. And now it comes down to, is Comey going to pick a judge or a jury? Does he want to just go before the judge and say, do your best or do your worst? Or does he want to drag this out and have jury selection, a whole trial, jury deliberation? I think he's going to go for the jury because this man has an ego that is so
He's already
large.
said
He
that.
thinks he is. Yeah, he wants the pomp and circumstance. He wants to drag this out and make a spectacle because in his head, he firmly believes that there's nothing bad gonna happen to him out of this. Like, he's not gonna see jail time. He's not gonna see anything bad happen to him. It's just because in his head, Trump has he's on a revenge tour, and I'm just the
Right.
first stop. That's what Comey thinks.
Good
It's
way to
not the
put it,
case.
because it's pretty much it. Yeah. You
Well,
not the revenge tour, but
to a point.
what you did and you admitted to, but the prior administration elected not to do anything about it because it benefited them and it didn't benefit
Right.
the other side prior to President Trump coming back into office. Keep your head down and hope that the thought was the Trump wouldn't win, that Democrats would have the White House for another 4 years, possibly 8 years, and therefore he'd have nothing to worry about. Not only did that not happen, his daughter got fired. I think she's suing now to get her job back. It's just it has made a big mess, but I think they miscalculated, and Director Comey miscalculated that he would not be held to account, or have someone that would hold him to account. And the last election surprised him and everyone else. And your point to Hillary and others.
Right. Many
keep your head down,
others.
folks. The party's just beginning. The DJs just started spinning the records, so prepare for that.
Oh,
But
yeah.
I think Comey's probably going to. It's going to be one of those found guilty on one felony charge. He won't see jail time. I don't see.
No, I think he's going to get.
Pressing that.
If he does get jail time, he'll get the maximum is 5 years per count,
Be
and the
minimum out of golf
minimum.
prison.
Right. He'll get 18 months. So at the minimum, they're gonna give him 18 months. Whether he goes to, the prison spa, as we like to call it, where, it's not really prison. You're just in a vacation home for 18 months.
You're there, and they're keeping an eye on you. You're not sleeping in your own
Right.
bed. That's about it.
Right. But
they
the
have
point
the
of
ability
this
to waive
is
that.
that's true. But the main thing, regardless of what the sentencing portion of all this comes down to, the fact is that Trump is making a statement when he says, if you violate the law and you No, they literally, it's like you're in a trial and you sit down and you're like, okay, I'm going to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth and all that stuff. It's exactly the same concept in Congress. If you lie to Congress, it is a federal offense.
That's right.
So the whole point of this is if you do the crime, then we're going to punish you for said crime.
Yeah.
No one is above the law, and he means it. So, like Dad said, look in the coming months to see some of these other players and all of these schemes. The charges are going to come down against them as well, and they have to answer for the crimes that they committed against this country, period.
Oops. There we go.
If it was any one of
Absolutely.
us, we would be going through the same exact process. So why should it be any different for an elected
Right.
official?
And it's just it seems bad. It doesn't look good because he, like Angie said, he's coming in and he's on a revenge tour, and that's not the case. It's cleaning
No.
up after a mess that was ignored, and the
Right.
prior administration created some of these problems, did these things, the Russia hoax, not ignoring the ignoring
emails.
emails, ignoring the laptop, his kid's laptop, going back to Hillary with the private server with classified information on it that was against the law. There's
And
all
she
this
had also
that
lied to
happened.
Congress
Oh, absolutely.
during her hearing. Yes.
So this is not a matter of going on a revenge tour. If the prior administrations had done their job and not protected their own, and I know we'll be accused of that. Everyone is. Politics is politics.
Right. You're not always going to please everybody. That's just the reality, and that's just how it is.
But if you, like Angie said, if you do these things, and eventually someone's going to get in a position of authority that's going to go and investigate and take appropriate action, and that's what's happening now. And I think the issue with going back to Clinton private servers, that's going to come to a head. I mean, you got someone who violated the law and destroyed the hard drives, wiped the hard drives. I mean, talk about impeding the investigation and
that's
their own
a lot of
prosecution.
obstruction of justice. Yeah.
My God, is that a lot of obstruction? But you just no. I'm sorry, we don't see anything there. We're not going to. There's nothing here. Don't look. Now it's time to look and have the hearings and investigate.
They have been gathering evidence. I mean, Trump, I don't know, maybe a little refresher, right after he won the election this go around. One thing that he talked about that night when they were, doing the celebratory speeches and all of those things, Trump laid out his agenda. And one of those things was to bring back the law in this country for everyone. And that included all of what's happening now. And I think we have to start doing those things now, because if we let it slide, it opens this gaping hole of, well, we're just going to do whatever we want now, because now we know that if Trump isn't going to raise an eyebrow, nobody's going to raise an eyebrow. Nobody's going to have the cojones to do what Trump has done in the last 9 months. So, like you said, Dad, it's going to get a lot of pushback, and there's going to be a lot of false information flying around because they're trying to deflect from the fact that their key players, their top Democrats, are all being indicted potentially. And that says a lot about your party as a whole. And trying, and that's a double-edged sword too, because with midterms coming up in a year, and you see top Democrats being indicted, you see attacks on ICE, you see assassinations. If I was a new voter, that doesn't leave a good taste, and you don't want that. So you're going to stay away. And
you have Democrats who are leaving their own party, who are switching party. Voters see that.
Sorry,
new
I'm
voters
trying to
see
get comfortable.
That. But it doesn't bode well for the midterms. Yet when I hear individuals from the other side on the various interviews with various networks, they still believe, or at least they're trying to getting someone to believe that it'll be exactly 180 degrees away from what the reality of what things are looking like the midterms are going to be. They are determined to act as if they are right on all counts, and that the entire country can agree with them. And unfortunately, at least half the country is not going to. And some of the crazy stuff they come out with is going to come back and haunt them. And
It is.
It's not just the ideas. It's not just guys playing in women's sports, transgender stuff. Go out and assault federal officers because we think that's the right thing to do. We won't do it, but we want you to go out and do it. Those things are bad enough, but when you pick my words carefully here, when you use rhetoric that incites, going back to what we talked about earlier, incites people, whether they are sane and they are converted to something radical, or someone has some psychological problems that are easily convinced because these are people in power that I need to do something because they're telling me to do something. When they continue to do things like that and then they want to expand their power vis-a-vis midterm elections, picking up regionals, governorships, whatnot, the people have to at some point step back and say, party politics aside, we can't let this get any worse than it is.
Right.
And this is really coming to a head now with what's going on with ICE. I mean, that's where we started everything tonight. But with the assassination attempts, with the successful assassinations, with what's going on with ICE, with local police departments, this is riling up a segment of our society who will act on this. And I think that's what they want. That's what they're. This is not accidental. Again, if you can't beat someone, maybe you beat them down. That's what appears to me, anyway.
I think so too. I agree. I think it speaks a lot about people's, two things. It speaks a lot about their intelligence, and it also speaks a lot about their maturity. If you can't have a disagreement and an argument that ends in a disagreement with someone, and you're bringing all of the facts and they're bringing facts and you're comparing the facts and you disagree and all these things, you guys know how it goes. If you can't articulate yourself enough to get through a conversation like that, and then you start having a tantrum about it, that's your immaturity. And that's what these people are. That's what Antifa is. They're so immature and so just led down this idea that the country is out to take everything you want away. And just wild, crazy stuff. And like you said, Dad, people actually devote their lives to this cause, this Antifa terrorist organization. And when you are already living with some form of mental illness, and there's different severities, there's different things that happen, and different medications can make you feel a certain way and counteract and all these things. And then you prey on those people to do your bidding. And then you want to sit there and say, well, they're out there doing the crazy stuff. We need to tone it down. Words are words. They're not going to become anything unless you do something with the words. And that's what Trump is doing right now. He's going to send in the people that need to go in. They're going to arrest whoever needs to be arrested, clean up the streets. And really what it boils down to is Trump can go in there and the National Guard can go in there and everybody go in there, right? And they can clean up all the things and arrest all the people. But the real issue is if you have these governors and these mayors in these cities and these states who have continuously put forth legislation to hurt They're citizens. It is never going to change. That is the
Well,
biggest problem. And the voters, you guys out there, are the ones that can change that for your state and for your city
you,
and for your
you,
elector, your mayor and all the people. You
you put
guys
them in,
still
you can
have that
take them back
power.
out.
Right.
I mean, Tim
Exercise
Walz,
your your right to vote.
I can't even imagine how Tim Walz got elected and quite possibly could be reelected to the governorship.
Mm,
I mean, he just
God, I
made
hope not. Please wake
a
up.
remark about the Democratic Party and the fascist takeover of the Republican Party. I mean, they
Oh,
keep
goodness.
using fascists and Nazis, and this is the hate
It's the
speech
same
that
playbook.
just keeps coming out. Exactly, and
Hmm.
they think that people aren't going to act. A certain segment of people, like you said. Again, I'm just saying the same thing, but they're not going to. A certain segment are going to act on the things you are saying, the things you're implying, the evil that you're implying exists within your opponent's party, and
Right.
how some people react with evil is they take it out, and we're seeing more and more of that, and it needs to stop. And these are, it happens in Congress every day. You get Omar, you have, oh my God, a dozen
Hakeem
of them.
Jeffries.
They just keep
Hmm.
spewing the hatred, and then they come out, they walk out and get in front of a camera, a media camera, and oh yes, we have to get together and stop all this kind of stuff. But in
Right.
the inside of the Congress, they're in there spewing that we're the Nazi fascists, yeah, the hate
Dictator.
speech. It's just hate speech.
Oh, yeah.
So we need to stop that. We've beat that
Right.
horse enough, but we just have to keep proceeding ahead, guys. And again, to go after the things that Charlie stood for. We keep saying that because I'm informally dedicating what we do here to Charlie now, and
Hmm.
we just need to move forward, to push hard, talk to the people that are friends, our family, have information to fight your case, unlike having ammunition to load a gun with.
Right.
Words will get you in
Be
trouble anymore,
knowledgeable.
but words are stronger. And
Right.
I have people that I talk to all the time that are not along the same thought lines that I am. I don't get upset by it. I ask them, what do you want me to explain to you?
Right.
I'm not going to try to change your mind. Why don't you tell me how I'm wrong? And then I'll explain why I think I'm right on that issue or that certain political issue. That's how you change the world, one person at a time. So I would recommend everybody, if there's a person that you can have a conversation with that you think maybe needs to hear a little bit, besides picking up the Bible, as Angie said,
Right.
but from a political standpoint, if they won't turn down the hatred, we need to turn it down for them. And I think that's one way to do it, is to come in kind of from the back door and say, we'll talk to you. If you won't talk to your own people and try to settle things down, we'll do the best we can to settle things down from our perspective. Explain that we're not a bunch of socialist Nazis. Explain to them
Right.
what a Nazi was, what a socialist,
What it really means.
what it means to be a socialist. And some of these kids coming out of college, or some of these kids in college, they have to be told what these things are, because they're clearly not being taught what the truth.
No.
That you don't throw those words around lightly. I know nobody's been around long enough to remember, a lot of people anyway, the Nazis, and people don't follow history. But we ain't it. We ain't it.
No. We have never been near that level of death and hatred and just mind
what's
warping crazy it's not even in the like Trump doesn't even resonate anything like that. But if that's all you've heard since you can remember, then
You'll start believing
I mean,
it.
you start really believing it. Exactly. Like, you don't know any better. And it just, I think my biggest thing right now when I talk to people is not only educate yourself, but um just understand that there are two sides to every story. You need to know all of it before you can sit down and effectively say, yes, I believe in this, or no, I don't believe in this. That's just me personally. I'm a information kind of gal. I got to have all of
Right.
it before I can come out and say, yeah, I'm for this, or no, I'm not for that. And then also, really this goes out to all the viewers, all of you that have subscribed, just keep praying for everybody. Like, whether
Right.
you know these people or not, keep praying for them, because it has power. And if all of us, like Charlie had said before, if all of us believe that we can change something, and we're all on the same team, we can effectively make something happen. And we're doing it every day by having these
Well,
conversations with people.
I firmly believe that's what happened in the last election. I mean, it
Hmm.
completely went a direction that no one called for. And I firmly believe it's because that's what the country needed. And there was a
Right.
hand in getting that done, as well as there, again, not to go too far over on this, but there was a hand in the fact that President Trump is still with us.
Oh,
I mean,
yes,
the
absolutely.
fact how that whole thing transpired, he was looking at the graph when he normally wouldn't be, a millimeter. If the wind had been blowing a little bit different, if he turned his head a little bit different, be a completely different story. He and this party and this movement and Charlie, for the short period of time he was with us, are what we needed and what we need at this time, and we were given. So, without going over the edge with people, because some people don't want to hear that, Ange. I mean, some people just don't want to.
Well, that's okay.
They don't believe it. They don't want to hear it. So you have to temper it to what your audience wants to hear. And most times, they're just spewing the same misinformation and party dialogue, party diatribe that they hear. It's not that they agree or that they understand it. Maybe they don't understand it, or they've never heard the opposing viewpoint. And what we need to
True.
do is maybe help them understand where not understand where we think they should be, because we can never tell somebody what they should be thinking,
No.
but telling them why we believe what we believe, whether it
Right.
be God, the Bible, politics, status of foreign wars, immigration, pick your topic. But this is why I believe what I believe, and this is why I think this way. And I'm never going to tell you what you need to think, the same as you should never tell me what I need to think. But the information will be there for you to at least have it bouncing around inside your head. And maybe that makes them take pause, Ange. They go
Right.
to the voting booth or next time, or that city council election, that local election, school board election, whatever the case may be. And that conversation that you gave them, that time that you gave them, maybe makes them think that they need to put a little different perspective on the way they vote to get
I
what they
agree.
want. And this is really what it is. I mean, it isn't that people, like Angie said, you got people that vote a certain block, and they always did, and they always will, and it wouldn't matter if they started, they told us that uh, don't want to talk about abortion, but the abortion's a law of the land, and the evil, horrible things that are going to come out of this and that and the other thing. They're going to vote because Democrats, or
Or
Republican
Democrats.
is Republican. That's
Right.
it. That cycle of using your head and having your own ideas, and not choosing a D because that's what dad and mom and grandma and grandpa and great grandpa and great grandma did, has to start with a seed, a simple conversation.
Hmm.
And I've had
A
that conversation.
curiosity.
Absolutely. Uh, whether it's the topic of, pick it. There's so many. Men and
Could be
women's
anything.
sports,
Climate change.
whatever.
You
You
know,
pick that
start out
subject and you
small and go
say,
for the big stuff later.
yeah, go for the big kahunas later on. But
Hmm.
have that discussion and say, this is why I think what I think. This is the way I vote. This is why I am MAGA. MAGA doesn't mean Nazi. MAGA doesn't mean socialism.
Right.
Let's talk about what the movement does mean and what it stands for. And this is that MAGA isn't the MAGA movement started with Trump, but it won't end with Trump. It won't end at the
No,
end of his term. Uh,
because
especially
MAGA is
with
America.
Charlie.
Like, if we want to make America great, then we are all a part of MAGA as Americans in that sense. If you want America to be a great country that you can prosper in and your kids
Hmm.
prosper and your grandkids, if you want to live your life and work hard and get your money and not all of it go to the government and waste it on all these insane subsidies and all this stuff, if you don't want senseless wars and you want a smaller government and you want the government to work for you the way it's supposed to, MAGA might be for you.
Right. I mean, honestly,
And
who would
that's
not want America not to be great?
right. I love America. I
Who
want it to be the
who
best that
when
it's
I
ever been.
absolutely when we say make America great again, who wouldn't want that? Other than
Right.
people that want to see the country be destroyed, and they want to see
Right.
cities burnt down. They want to see anarchy. And well, those people don't deserve to be here, and they don't deserve what they've gotten so far out of this country. But
Hmm.
anyway, just I guess the overriding theme on this is just there's a lot of hate, there's a lot of divisiveness. People are divided, people are fighting, families aren't talking to each other because they're splitting down the party lines. All that crap's got to stop, and it only starts when a civil, level-headed mind says, "Hey, let's talk," just like
Yeah.
Charlie tried to do, and Charlie did. Tell me why I'm wrong. And I've said those words to
Right.
people. And maybe you need to try that with some of your folks. Tell me why do you think I'm wrong about my position on X, Y, and Z? And then have a discussion. Don't let it end up in screaming, yelling, hollering, and threatening. And we can maybe together break that cycle that's being created by the folks in authority and the folks sitting in Congress and around the country in positions that they've been allowed to get away with it. And maybe we can break that
Hmm.
cycle. But we break it with words. We don't break it with guns and sticks and knives and
No,
throwing things. Not to say that we will not
absolutely
defend
not.
ourselves from that, but we will not,
Right.
as a movement, we will not initiate that. And I think we've shown, I think you would agree, Inch, that we've shown as a party and as a movement restraint in that.
Oh yeah. I think Trump is the biggest example of, showing restraint after going through everything that they put him through, leading up until he was sworn in as president. Essentially, this man has gone through stuff that most of us, thank God, will never have to go through in our lifetime. And when he got back into the White House, he's a human being just like any of us, and he feels emotions just like any of us. So it would be really easy and understandable if he came in there and started, laying the hammer down on these people. But he didn't, because even though he could, the true, sense of maturity in a human being is just because I can doesn't mean I'm going to. It doesn't mean I want, that's my, first initial instinct. I want to fix this without bringing all all the drama into it.
It's like you said earlier. If he had done that, he would have hurt himself. He would have hurt his entire agenda. The things he
Mhm.
wanted to do for this country with respect to health care, immigration,
Right.
the tax changing in tax codes, tax situation, tariffs, all
Ending
things
the
that he wanted to
senseless
accomplish.
wars.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. And, yeah, being a peacemaker. Those
Yeah.
things that are important to him would have been destroyed by a vendetta, by having vengeance, and he's still going to be accused of that. He's being accused of it every day. The
Oh yeah.
Comey
Right
thing,
now, especially.
it's all a vendetta. It's all a vendetta. He wanted to come in here to. It's like when they said if he didn't win, he would end up going to jail. He had to win the election so he could get out of all the suits that were popped around him, and all those things went away. But he was accused of running for president to keep himself out of jail, and that people repeated that stuff. It's a bunch of garbage,
Mm-hmm.
but they repeated it. He certainly didn't come into office with a vendetta, but he certainly came into office with a bad taste in his mouth for the amount of people that spent their
Mm-hmm.
entire careers
Careers.
up to that point
Yeah.
trying to ruin him and his entire family. So
And
don't
almost
say that the man
succeeded.
and almost came close to getting away with it. Letitia
Mm-hmm.
and her games, and the one in Georgia, and I mean, he was getting it from every front. His family was getting it. His business was suffering because of it, because of a vendetta. If anybody had vendettas, there were those people chasing him and chasing the Trump organization and his family. And now those people are on the defensive, and rightly so, because of what they did was, along with being unethical and unconscionable, was to some degree illegal.
Treasonous. Yeah.
So don't beat the man up like you think he doesn't deserve to have a little ha-ha time, what goes around comes around type stuff. But y'all brought it on yourself by what you did over the last 4 years, or the 4 years prior to his reelection. Again, it's turning into a rally here, Ange, but that's not our intent.
Right.
But one thing you're going to find out,
We
guys,
feel passionately about these things, you guys. Okay. Very
we are
passionate.
very passionate about it, and we will bounce around as we need to get to the place that we want to end with. And that's
Right.
kinda where
We're
we
getting
go.
there. Just like I said, buckle up. It is a good time, but it might get bumpy, but we're going to get to the destination. I promise.
That's right. Don't mind the speed bumps, folks.
Right. Just
Don't
hang
mind
on.
the speed bumps. But other than that, it has been an insane week.
It has been.
Prayers go out to those folks who were killed in the most recent acts of violence. And albeit unfortunate, two of the people that were killed were not people that were going to be in the country very long. They were in the process of being
No.
deported.
I mean,
It's
they might have
unfortunate
broken
that they-
our laws in our country, but
Mhm.
they still didn't deserve to die.
No, not at all. But a
So-
crazy person that was
Right.
pushed over the edge, thought that there was nothing more he could do other than what in his mind was the right thing as he was being programmed, I guess, and to go and shoot up the facility. And it's we keep saying it, but it's just got to stop. It's easy to say it's just got to stop. It's harder to make it stop. And
Right.
it all starts with people like his mother stopping those people from spewing the hate downhill into weak minds or forming minds.
Mm-hmm.
So they believe that this is normal and that this is the way the country operates. It's never
Right.
the way it operated, and it should never be something we have to worry about. But one thing I think Charlie has, he certainly imparted on all of us, is that don't be afraid to speak your mind. Everyone keeps screaming, my First Amendment rights, my First Amendment rights. The ones that are screaming on the left are screaming because they want to spew the hate. They want to spew the misinformation, the lies. We've got to counter that with the argument that is the truth, and that we just want to set this country back on the right path. Make it so people can afford groceries again. Make it so people can afford to go enjoy their families and do some things, and not be broke. Can buy a tank of gas uh,
Mm-hmm.
without taking out a mortgage.
Right.
You know,
That's the truth.
yeah, I mean, everyone just wants a better quality of life, and it's unfortunate that a lot of people in this country haven't figured out that as long as we continue down the path that we're on, we are not going to get to that point that everyone wants to be at. Everybody wants the better things and the better economy and the but lower crime and all those things, but nobody wants to do the things to get us there. They just
Right.
want to play politics. They want to play hatred. And like I said, I'll go back and say that. I think we can only start. Whoop,
Oh, whoa.
we can. I know. I think a lot of stuff going on there, but it's a one person at a time battle, and don't be afraid to use your words. You do have
Right.
a First Amendment right, and you do have a Second Amendment right also, if the First Amendment gets out of hand. But use your words. Talk to people. Be civil.
Right. Calm,
Um,
cool, and collected. Always.
kill them with kindness. Not to be funny, but it's what we always taught
It works.
growing up. I've been talked to mean with where I go a few days a week, and you know what? A smile and have a great day, and I walk away because I can bitch and moan all the way home in my truck. Same thing with you guys.
There you go.
I'm telling you what, there's one good thing about sitting on the turnpike in traffic. If you have to vent to yourself, you got time to do it. But have those discussions with people that are of different opinions from you, but will listen and at least hear your viewpoint. And again, you're not
Right.
going
I
to
was going to say
convert
that, Dad.
en
There,
masse.
there's a level at which um, people are not going to want to. They are hell bent on their decision of this is the way the country is. This is how I want to be. I firmly believe in vengeance, violence, and vindication, and
Mhm.
you can't help those people. Those are the
No,
types
you're
of
not.
people that until it affects them personally, they're not going to do anything. That's
Right.
those types of people. They're,
Right.
but I think being open to having the conversations and sitting down with people, whether it's, family, friends, work colleagues, things like that. You don't have to reach out to people all the way across the country or anything, just in your local area. But
No.
having we have strayed away, like you said, because everybody wants everything now and they want the changes and the reform. But we are in a time now where with uh technology the way that it is, and everybody's streaming and everybody's posting and everybody's gaming and all these things, we forgot, the work has to get done. It's not just gonna wait, you wake up one day and poof, oh yay, the world's fixed. No, 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 no. We
Not when you
The only
have
reason we
people that are
have a
hell bent
United
to destroy it.
Right. The only reason we have a United States to sit in here and talk freely about this stuff is because our forefathers died for us to be able to sit here and have this conversation. So it all starts with that. Cool, calm, and
Starts.
collected. You don't have to be a crazy person. You don't have to match the crazy. Okay. You, like you said, kill them with kindness. And if it's just not, if you see the conversation is getting nowhere, don't keep on. Just say, okay, thank you for your time. And you move on.
Move
That's
on
it.
to the next person, just like
Right.
Charlie would do with the mic. Next
Exactly.
contestant.
Next. Mm-hmm.
And that's what I think we need to
Absolutely.
do. Let's try to do that this week. We'll talk more about that next week. But I think this week is a week of besides reading your Bible and going to church, and thanking above for what you have. Go out there and try to in your normal conversation. Don't go looking for trouble.
Right.
But
Don't go
your
searching
normal
people.
day
Okay.
to day.
Right.
Don't be afraid to wear that T-shirt that says who you are and what you stand for, or wear that hat.
Yeah.
There are going to be people
Get out
that'll
that
try to
hat.
knock that hat, but there'll be people that knock that hat off your head.
That's okay. Put it back on with
Put
a
it back on.
smile.
Put it back on with a smile and walk away.
Mm-hmm.
Those people you won't be able to talk to. It'd be
No,
nice if
and
you
that's
could,
okay.
but you won't be able to. Those are the haters, the ones that want to use physicality over words.
Right.
They don't want to reason, they want to react. You
Mm-hmm.
can't be part of that.
No. And you're better
You-
than that.
And you have to be better than that. And I think the party as a whole is better than that. And
Right.
again,
Let's
what this
see that
comes back
integrity
to-
shine this week, you guys, when you're talking to
Absolutely.
people. Let that integrity shine.
like we said in the very beginning when we started, if the people that are promulgating the hatred refuse to dampen it and stop,
Mm-hmm.
try to slow it down, then we have to do it for them. And then we're not going to take credit for it. We're not playing it for any reason other than the fact that we need to get the country back in the order it was and stop
Right.
this partisan hatred and violence. And this is happening. This is a daily event. I mean, we could come on here every week and talk about another riot, another shooting, another this, another that. It stops only when we all start talking to each other again, and that's why I think we need to
Right.
start on our side of the aisle, not to be, partisan edge, but it is what it is.
The facts are the facts.
The facts are the facts.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can get out there and you can use your voice and your words that people have died for to give you that right, then use those words and
Right.
try to bring somebody around. You may not convince them to become a Republican. You may not be able to convince them to wear the red hat, but that's not the purpose of the exercise. The purpose of the exercise is to like, it's like in the one of the movies, what was it, the Alien movie or something? Will Smith, they put the virus into the spaceship. Independence Day.
Oh, okay. I was like, I'm thinking Men in Black until you said the virus in the
No,
spaceship. Then
the
I was like,
virus
yeah,
thing.
that's not that.
And it makes me think of that. If you plant the seed in one person,
It can
then
grow.
that person
It can
might
spread.
talk to that's the circle they're in. And if one person can talk to another couple people and say, yeah, I met a guy or a girl today, and a dude was MAGA, and he's a Trump guy, and it wasn't that bad. Really, he doesn't believe in some of the stuff that we believe in, and he never will. But they're not a bad party. They're just a party with different ideas, which years ago used to be the way politics worked. Varying ideas,
It was
getting
okay to
together.
disagree with each other.
and you found ways to find the middle of the road, and you found that middle of the
Mm-hmm.
aisle. And now we
Right.
can't do that. All we can do is hate each other. All we can do is shoot at each other. When that starts happening, you are pushing the country towards socialism. This party that we are part of is not your problem. The problem will be what you are trying to turn this country into on your own. And that's what needs to stop. So, hey, if we can set that seed, talk to one person,
Yeah.
two people that are just people you would normally converse with in the course of the day, that initiate the need to have a conversation or want to talk about it. You can't go in and
Right.
start preaching to somebody.
No, don't do that. Don't go seeking out and trying to,
No.
magically do the impossible. Okay.
No, that's how you get in trouble.
Right.
No, but
We don't want anybody
if
to get
someone comes-
hurt or
no,
anything like that.
you just want to be able to say, if someone says to you, I've had people say to me, are you a Trump guy? Well, I can't say I'm a Trump guy. I can tell you who I voted for. Really, it's none of your business, but I'll tell you. Now, more importantly, why don't you ask me why I voted for him? Why don't we talk about issues?
Right. What's
you
the
know,
why?
Well, you talk the why. What's the why? The result of who I voted for, president or anyone else, is not because of that person. It's because of the issues and what they stand for and what I think they're going
Right.
to do for me and my family and my community. So ask me more important. The biggest question you can ask me, the most important question, is what's the issues that's important to you? What are the issues that make you vote for someone? And we can have a conversation about that. And then maybe that person can step back and go, well, that's kind of weird because I agree with that too. That makes sense, but I don't vote for those people. Well, if you want change, then
Right.
turn the page.
Turn the page. If you don't like tampons in your bathrooms, turn that page, you
Turn the
guys. Turn
page.
it.
Turn that
Turn
page.
it with us.
Turn the page. The
Um,
page.
I agree. I
Yeah.
mean, just having, you know, these are what I think, and this is what I think, and then okay, that's cool. Okay, that's cool with you too.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
We're still friends. I don't hate you. I don't,
Mm.
want you to stay away from me and never talk to me again. I just understand that you're a different
Right.
person than I am, and that's
Right.
okay. That's what I tell my kids.
My values.
We're humans, not robots. It's
Yeah.
okay to be different.
My
It's
values are
okay.
not going to be your values.
Right.
I hope they are, but I mean, when you get into things, some of the social issues right now, some of the stuff that's going on right now, you're just not going to get the two people on either side of the aisle to agree, because it's been especially on the other side of the aisle, it's been pushed and ingrained that this is what we believe, this is what we
Oh,
believe.
it's a very deep wound
Yeah, and it
with
takes a lot,
everything.
and it takes time to close it. And
Mm-hmm.
and if same with any of our subscribers, any of our viewers out there, if you're only going to talk to the same half dozen people all the time, and those 6 people have a certain idea on something, and that's all you've ever heard, and that's all you've ever been, it'd be like being indoctrinated. You're never going to have a different point of view because that's what you've heard, and by default, it's probably what you're going to end up believing in, whatever that policy is, whatever
Exactly.
that issue is. You have
That's
to
what
step outside
happens a
your
lot.
comfort zone and listen, and don't just talk to people, listen to people.
Right.
90%
Really
of what
let
you're going
what
to
they're
get out of
saying soak
this
in.
comes out of here.
Mm-hmm.
So, listen to what people have to say. Maybe you'll learn something too. Maybe there's something that you just thought was a stupid thing, but the way it was presented to you, it's not going to be something that you're going to believe in. It's going to become part of who you are, but you'll understand where they're coming from. And when we start understanding where each other's coming from a little bit, maybe this violence and these things will start subsiding a little bit. So
Right.
that'll be your homework. Not homework, but try to do a little bit more talking and listening, and maybe if we can touch on some people that are so anti-MAGA, anti-government, anti, maybe have a handful of people start thinking a little bit differently, that we're not the bad folks. We love our country just as much, and we just want to see
Mm-hmm.
become great again.
Right.
And hopefully they'll.
And we care about. We might not agree with the people who are acting in these violent ways and doing all these violent things to their area, their state, their city, but we
Mhm.
still have compassion for these people, and we still want the best for them. And that's where the whole compassion and empathy portion of it comes in. I might not agree with any of the things that you've done with the riots and the
Mhm.
burning down the buildings and the bashing police
Yeah,
cars and all this stuff,
I'll
but
never
I
agree with that.
still, right, nobody agrees with that, but we want you to, we still have compassion for you as a person, and we know that there is good in people, and they can see the error of their ways, so to speak. And not that we're going to bring people into the light or, all that nonsense, but
Don't go into the light.
right, just so, like you were saying, Dad, just maybe they see it a different way and it helps them understand. And that's
Right.
all we can hope for, is getting the information out there, and eventually, with prayer and consistency and having those conversations with people that we might not know, or we just come across in whatever area we're in, eventually, hopefully, we're praying for it, that all of
Right.
this is going to subside and we can get to a level where we can prosper in America and not have to worry about safety concerns. And, are our men and women coming home from work? It's no more stress. We don't need it. We're over it. We want to cool it down,
Mm-hmm.
and we want to move on so that we can do some great things with this country and bring it back to its rightful top tier love for the United States, which I feel like a lot of our subscribers love the United States of America. So thank you guys. Thank you for
Absolutely.
subscribing.
As you saw at the beginning, we are going to start off with the flag and the national anthem every week.
Right. Love it.
Love your
Sing
country, love your
along.
flag. Don't burn your
Get the
flag.
hand up your heart.
Don't do exactly. But I think that's where we're going to be for tonight anyway.
Yeah, I feel good about it.
We kind of bounced around a lot tonight, guys. When you got a lot on your mind, that's what happens.
It's been a busy week.
It's been a lot going on, and to have an episode about one specific item is not what this show is all about. We're going to talk about, when we say let's talk about it, it's the name of the show. If
We're going to talk about it.
We're going to talk about it. You may disagree with us. You may.
That's okay.
We've gotten some hate mail. Bless your heart.
It's all right.
It's
We'll take
okay.
it.
I got broad shoulders. Angie has broad
Right.
shoulders.
I'm
We're
all
here
right.
to have
That's
a
not
good
the worst
time.
thing that's happened to me.
Oh no, no, not at all.
Bring it on.
But
we do like when you guys,
we do like cake.
take right. We love sweet treats, and no one's
We
going to
like
turn
cake.
down cookies and pastries and coffees and all that kind of stuff. We're all about that over here.
Right. So if you want to let us know that some way we can get a cake out of the deal, we're all about
Yeah,
that.
sponsor us with some cake, you guys, or some cookies,
Yeah.
donuts.
we
I
are
like
certainly-
donuts too.
Donuts are good. Yeah.
Donuts are good. It's always a fave. Any
If
flavor.
somebody wants to sponsor us, anybody that's got a donut shop
Yeah.
that wants to sponsor us, that would be awesome.
Email. We'll set it up. And
Let us know.
we'll even talk about it. We'll taste test it, the whole bit. No worries.
Absolutely.
We'll plug the business. No big deal. We got
Yeah,
you.
Papa D loves himself a good donut. So
I don't know.
Feel free to let us
Yeah.
know. Leave a comment or send us an email, and we'll we can work
We'll
something
get it.
out.
We'll
But
yeah.
we hope you guys enjoyed tonight. Again, we bounced around quite a bit. We tried to get away without. We will never not talk about Charlie, because Charlie is the impetus of what turned this channel back on
Put it right there.
and put us down the path again. So he is he's our main sponsor.
Right.
He's
Thank
given
you,
us a lot.
Charlie.
And thank you, Charlie, for that. But our purpose is to pass along a little news, pass along our viewpoint on some things, and get you guys to interact a little bit more with each other and with us, but more with each other, and try to make this this world a little bit better. And
Right.
hopefully today we've had a chance, just by acting out a little bit, having a little bit of fun, presenting a little bit of news, and having a TED Talk or two. We were able to do a couple of those things. But leave us your comments and things, guys. Tell us what you want. Tell us what you want to talk about. If someone out there wants to be brought in, we have the ability to bring you on into the show if it makes sense. And if you got something you want to talk about or something you can offer up, an interview possibility, let us know. We can make that happen. We got magic buttons here, folks. We can make things happen here. But this week's show has been about, talk to each other and let's get this world turned around one person at a time.
Right.
And we'll start, hopefully, with the people toning down that are going after our ICE and our federal officers and our law enforcement and all that. I will say thank you to the law enforcement, my brothers, the ICE officers, anybody that wears the badge, anybody that carries a hose to a fire, EMTs. We appreciate every one of you. We love you guys and girls, and thank you for what you do. And I know I'm only one old guy, but anything happens, y'all need somebody to have your back. I got your back. And I mean that 100%. So, on that note, what do you think, Ange? We're going to call it?
Yeah, we're going to call it. Just wanted to say thank you guys for tuning in tonight. Thank you for everybody who's watching on the replay. Really, really appreciate you guys taking the time out of your busy schedules and everything that you guys have going on in your own lives to watch us talk and sit around and goof off for, an hour or two. It really means a lot, and I appreciate it. Thank you to all the new subscribers. If you're just joining us, if you're brand new, thank you very much for joining the family. And we're going to do everything we can to keep it as consistent, informative, and fun for you guys every week. Keep praying, especially for everything that's going on right now, for your families, more importantly, for yourselves. And we will see you guys next week.
All right. I will echo the same sentiments. We appreciate every one of you guys. The 1,200 people who have already checked out the last episode, episode 19. We appreciate everybody. We appreciate you coming out. Hope you keep on coming out. Please hit the subscribe button if you're not a subscriber.
Yes. Click all the buttons.
To
the
click
bells,
all the buttons. All the bells
things.
and whistles. If you hit the bell, you'll be notified when we go live, when we have another show coming up, which is going to be more than likely every week anyway. But hit that bell, we'll let you know. Please watch the videos, share the videos, do all those things. That helps us get a little bit further right into YouTube land. Again, we are not a monetized channel, so anybody that thinks we're here just making a quick buck, it is not the case. We do this because we enjoy it. We like hearing from you guys. Please leave us comments. Please send us emails. Smoke signals, anything.
Donuts, all the above. We'll take it all.
If you want to send donuts, I'm all about the donuts. With that being said, we have said enough. Thank you, guys. We appreciate you. And
thank you.
We will see you next week. Again, hit that bell so you will be notified. God bless America.
God bless
our
America.
Subscribers. And we'll see you guys next week.
Bye.